So, you're planning that dream trip to the Gold Coast? Awesome. But are you feeling a little lost in all the noise? Forget the tourist traps and endless brochures. I'm here to give you the only guide you'll actually need. We're talking the best beaches, epic family trails, budget hacks that works, and secret hinterland adventures you won't find in a stock standard guidebook. From learning to surf at Burleigh Heads to finding glowworm caves in ancient rainforest, this is your complete 5-day plan designed to save your time, money, and a whole lots of stress. We're covering it all. This is the real deal itinerary for any kind of traveler. If you're ready for the ultimate Gold Coast adventure, you're in the right place. Stick around, you won't want to miss what's coming up. Day 1. The iconic Gold Coast, Surfers' Paradise and Broadbeach. Alright, Day 1. We're kicking things off with the iconic, the postcard, the heart of the Gold Coast, Surfers' Paradise. This is where that world-famous skyline literally crashes into the sand. If it is your first time here, you just can't skip it. The energy is electric. You've got the long golden beach buzzing with life, skyscrapers touching the clouds, and a vibe that just screams holiday. Spend your money just soaking it all in. Take a walk along the huge stretch of sand, dip your toes in the Pacific, and watch the surfers make it look easy. The beaches are patrolled, so it's perfect spot to swim between the flags. But Surfers is more than the beach. Wander down Cavill Avenue, the main drag, and you'll find a bustling hub of shops, street performers, and arcades. It's loud, it's vibrant, and it's an experience in itself. As the afternoon sun starts to chill out, head just south to Broadbeach. Think of it as Surfers' Paradise's more relaxed, sophisticated, older sibling. The beach is just as gorgeous, but usually with fewer people. The real gem here, though, is the green space along the coast. Kurawa Park is a waterfront oasis perfect for unwinding. It's an ideal spot for a late afternoon walk with its huge lawns and calm waters. You can even snag a free barbecue spot if you're up for a classic Aussie cook-up for dinner. To wrap up your first day, we've got options. If you're visiting on Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday night, the Surfers' Paradise beachfront markets are a must. It's a fantastic spot for unique souvenirs and local crafts. For the foodies, while the old night quarter closed, a new entertainment precinct has since opened in the same area, offering a vibrant mix of street food, market stalls, and live music. Alternatively, the Broadbeach dining precinct is packed with everything from casual eats to fancy restaurants, so you'll have plenty of choices to refuel after a massive first day.
No more in a world full of sorrow.
Day 2. Thrills and family fun. Theme parks. Get ready for Day 2 because we're dedicating it to adrenaline and pure shameless fun. The Gold Coast is Australia's most undisputed theme park capital, and you can't come here without hitting at least one. You've got Dreamworld, SeaWorld, Movie World, and Wet n Wild, all just a short drive away. Choosing the right one really depends on your crew. So let's break it down. For the serious thrill seekers, Dreamworld is your spot. It's home to some of the most heart-stopping rides in the country, like the Giant Drop and the Steel Type-In Triple Lounge Coaster. Plan for a solid 4 to 5 hours. It's a huge park, and trying to do it all is a recipe for burnout. Get there right when it opens, usually at 10 a.m., and make a beeline for the biggest rides to beat the lines. A one-day ticket to Dreamworld is currently around $99 for adults and kids, but always check online for deals. If you're with movie buffs or a family with a mix of ages, Warner Bros. Movie World is a brilliant choice. The magic of Hollywood comes alive with character parades, awesome stunt shows, and rides themed around your favorite DC superheroes and Looney Tunes characters. For marine life lovers, SeaWorld delivers a unique mix of exciting rides and incredible animal exhibits. It's a great all-rounder with attractions like the storm coaster right alongside opportunities to see dolphins, seals, and sharks up close. Multi-park passes are super popular. A 5-day pass that covers Movie World, Sea World, and Wet n Wild often goes for around $189. If you are after family fun beyond the big parks, the Gold Coast has you covered. The city has over 800 kilometers of bikeways, so hiring bikes is a great way to explore the coast at your own pace. And for some evening fun, check out the many mini golf courses like Put Put Mermaid Beach, where a game will set you back about $22 for adults. Okay, we've hit the icons and the thrills, but we're just getting warmed up. The next few days are all about discovering the local secrets, the incredible nature, and the hidden spots that make the Gold Coast truly special. If you're loving this guide, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. You are not going to want to miss our deep dive into the hinterland. Day 3. Coastal charm and local vibes. Burleigh Heads and Currumbin. Welcome to Day 3. Today, we're ditching the main tourist hubs to live like a local. We're heading to Burleigh Heads, which many consider the true heart and soul of the Gold Coast. This is where world-class surf breaks meet a trendy cafe scene and a stunning national park. First up has to be the Burleigh Heads National Park. It's this beautiful, protected headland that you can walk around in about 30 to 45 minutes. You've got two choices: the lower path, which hugs the coastline with waves crashing on the rocks, or the upper path through the rainforest, which leads to a lookout with one of the most jaw-dropping views on the entire coast, looking all the way back to the surfer's paradise skyline. After your walk, it's time to lean into the Burleigh lifestyle, and that means one thing: coffee. The area is absolutely stocked with some of the best cafes on the Gold Coast. Spots like Commune Cafe, Tart Bakery and Cafe, and Paddock Bakery are local legends famous for their amazing coffee, buzzy atmosphere, and food that looks as good as it tastes. And you can't come to Burleigh without talking about the surf. If you've ever wanted to learn, this is the spot. There are plenty of surf schools, and a group lesson usually costs between $55 and $75 for 2 hours, with all the gear included. For the more experienced out there, the Point Break at Burleigh is world famous for a reason. In the afternoon, cruise further south to Currumbin. Start at Currumbin Beach, a gorgeous spot that's perfect for families thanks to its gentle waves and nearby rock pools. But the real magic here happens every morning at 8 a.m. and afternoon at 4 p.m. at the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. Hundreds of wild rainbow lorikeets fly in for a feeding session. While you need a ticket for the main sanctuary, the lorikeet feeding is free to watch. Just offer a gold coin donation if you want a plate to feed them yourself. It's chaotic, colorful, and an experience you won't forget. Day 4. Hinterlandscape, Springbrook National Park. Alright, today we are doing a complete 180. We're leaving the coast behind and driving about 45 minutes inland to a totally different world, the Gold Coast hinterland. This is a place of ancient rainforests, stunning waterfalls, and cute mountain towns. You absolutely have to see this other side of the Gold Coast. Our main destination is Springbrook National Park, which is a part of the Gondwana Rainforests, a UNESCO World Heritage Area that feels like you've stepped back in time. The area is cooler up here. The only sounds are birds and rushing water, and the views are spectacular. The must-see highlight is the natural bridge. It's an incredible rock formation carved out by a waterfall over millions of years, creating a cave with the water pouring through the roof. There's an easy 1-kilometer paved loop that takes you down through the forest into the cave to see the waterfall from inside and back up again. It's pure magic. From there, keep driving up the mountain. You'll find several lookouts with insane views back toward the coast. The best of all lookout pretty much lives up to its name. On a clear day, you can see all the way from the Gold Coast to Byron Bay. If you are chasing waterfalls, Springbrook is your paradise. Porline Brook Falls is one of the most impressive, with a walking track that takes you right down to the base. If you'd prefer a guided trip, half-day tours of Springbrook are available for around $119 up to $125 per adult, which typically covers your transport and a guide. If you have some extra time, another hinterland gem is Lamington National Park, about an hour's drive from Springbrook. It's home to O'Reilly's Rainforest Retreat, which is famous for its treetop walk and a bird feeding area where vibrant crimson rosellas and king parrots will literally land on your head and hands. You can grab a tray of birdseed from the gift shop. It's an incredible experience for any animal lover. Day 5. Relaxation and hidden gems. After 4 pretty full-on days, Day 5 is all about chilling out, soaking up the last of the sunshine, and finding a few final hidden gems. We're starting the morning at Talabudra Creek. Tucked between Burleigh Heads National Park and Palm Beach, this is a calm water paradise. The water is this stunning turquoise color and is absolutely perfect for swimming, paddleboarding, or kayaking without having to battle any waves. You can rent kayaks for about $25 for 90 minutes. It's a huge favorite with local families and anyone just wanting a peaceful morning on the water. This last day is also the perfect time to share some budget tips to make your Gold Coast holiday a bit more affordable. First, take advantage of all the free stuff. The Gold Coast has 70 kilometers of amazing coastline, and a day at the beach costs nothing. Hiking in the national parks is also free. Having picnics and using the beach barbecue is a fantastic way to save cash on meals. Second, look into travel passes. Instead of a single city card, the Gold Coast now has better options. The TransLink Go Explore card gives you ultimate daily travel on buses and trams for a very low price, which is great for getting around. For attractions, look for multi-park or combo passes online, like the Gold Coast Fun Pass, as they are almost always cheaper than buying single tickets. Third, travel like a local. The G-Link tram is super efficient for getting between Broadbeach, Surfer Paradise, and Southport. For everywhere else, the bus network is pretty extensive. For your final afternoon, make your way to Coolangatta at the southern tip of the Gold Coast. This area has a cool retro surf town vibe. Walk up the hill at Greenmount or Point Danger to watch the surfer at the legendary Snapper Rocks surf break and just soak in the incredible views that stretch all the way back up the coast. It's the perfect spot to watch your final Gold Coast sunset. And there you have it, your ultimate 5-day Gold Coast adventure. We've gone from the shimmering skyline of Surfer's Paradise to the quiet waterfalls of the hinterland. We've felt the rush of the theme parks and the chill vibe of Burleigh's cafés. We've surfed, hiked, and uncovered some seriously beautiful hidden spots. The Gold Coast is just so diverse. One day you're screaming on a roller coaster, the next you're exploring a forest that's millions of years old. We had such an amazing time exploring waterfalls, eating great food, and watching those incredible sunrises and sunsets. It's just been beautiful. I really hope this guide has shown you how to get the absolute best out of your trip. All the links and details for everything we've talked about are in the description below. Now, I've got to ask you, what's your favorite spot on the Gold Coast? Drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy travels!